Okay, hey guys, so if you're watching this video, hopefully you're ready for the second step of Darth Vader. You should have already embroidered his facial features on. Now I have not done that fully because I use this to continue to model with students, and if I've totally sewn on all of his facial features, I wouldn't have anywhere to go. But if you're watching this, you're ready to embroider his lights. We embroider his lights with a satin stitch. Satin stitch, think of satin stitch as taking a color pencil and just coloring in everything in the lines. That's basically what you want to do. And so the best way to do that is to take your entire strand of embroidery thread. Don't separate any threads out like we did previously. And you want red, of course. So there's 6 mini strands on this one rope of embroidery thread. And I've doubled it because I like it to be thick for what I'm about ready to do. And also I've tied a knot at the end. If you need a refresher on how to tie a knot, there is a video tutorial in Google Classroom in this week that can remind you of how to do that. You can see I already have my outlines carefully drawn, and I'm ready to basically just scribble in those lines, to color in those lines. And the way that we do that is pretty simple, but I'll show you with the rectangle. So the very first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start in one corner, and I am going to poke my needle up from the back. I know it's hard to see my needle, but maybe once the thread comes out, you'll be able to see it a little bit better. And okay, yep, up from the back, and then I'm gonna go straight across the bottom line. Now my bottom line is a little bit messy. I could erase some of it because some of it is a little bit off the charts there. And I'm gonna go straight across the bottom line to cover it. You really don't want to be able to see the lines when you're finished. You really just only want to see red. So I'm just going straight across the bottom of that rectangle, pulling gently until the thread is flat. So do you see, you can see that I basically have one line. Now, what I like to do is I don't like to do straight down one piece. I kind of like to work in sections when it's a little bit of a bigger piece that, like this is. So I'm just going to go up maybe about 1/3 of the way and poke my needle through again on a line, on one of the side lines, and then go straight across, try and get a straight stitch across to the other side line. So I'm just making, kind of like making lines from one side line to the other. And then my goal is going to be to continue to come up and over and back down from sideline to sideline to fill that little section in. I like to work in a mini section at a time. And I'm not real happy with that last one. I didn't quite get it on the line. Let me take my glasses off. That might help me a little bit. The idea is that you're getting very close to the last stitch as you come out and go back in, because you don't want any gaps. You want it to look, see how that's very, very close? And just pull gently, and then I just come down to the next spot on the line, pull out, just coming out and going back down, coming out on one side line, going back down on the other side line, making a straight line. And of course, the more carefully that you do this, I guess it goes without saying, but I'll say it anyway. The more carefully that you do this, the better your project will look. Excuse me. So just coming out on one sideline and then going back down as close to the last stitch on the other as possible. See how that's filling in very nicely. And I just need to tug a little bit more. You want the stitches to lay flat, but you don't want to, don't pull so tight that it's making it pucker. Okay, I'll show you one more. This takes a little bit of patience. Yours is a little bit smaller than mine, of course. So it's not going to take as long maybe as mine is taking. coming out, going back down, and we're almost have it filled in. I just want to show you one section filled in, out and back down. Again, this is called the satin stitch. Coming out and going back down. And that's pretty well filled in, at least at the bottom. The key is getting right on the lines if possible and getting each stitch close to one another. Now, when you're finished, I'm going to show you again how to tie things off. You're going to go to the back. You're going to take your needle and you're just going to insert it into the most recent stitch that you did. Okay, insert it underneath the most recent stitch and pull. Don't pull all the way yet. See how it creates a loop? The way we create a knot is we pass the needle through that loop and pull. And then when we pull, you can see that knot is being created. And then I'll take my scissors and I will trim very close to the knot, but don't cut the knot or your project will begin to fall apart. And that's the satin stitch, and that's what you will do to complete both lights for Darth Vader. Have at it.